So first of all, what if they want an education? How far away do they live from these things? Also, they said community service as well, right? How available is community service? How practical is it for them to go work community service? Is it going to take them an hour to get there? So how long does it take for them to get there? You know, is it an hour each way? They need to do a thorough analysis of how they live their life. Do they watch their neighbors' kids for food stamps? Are they mowing lawns? Are they doing things, off the record? Okay, to get by? The main concern I think people should have here in regards to this is that it's part of a system of controlling women and money, right? Sexual control. In recent years, it's very clear that LGBT people have made a deal, an unholy deal, with rich, mostly whites and Jews, but rich people who are sexually immoral in regards to coercing women. It's not a coincidence that the Me Too movement kind of died out and you saw people showing the signs of being more sexually coerced than ever. During the pandemic, sextortion increased. We see that in this country and in other countries. People prey on people when there's some kind of a crisis. They've created a crisis by requiring people to work 20 hours to get welfare. Okay? And they don't do a good job of explaining it. And what exactly does it mean to be able-bodied? Just because someone's not in a wheelchair doesn't mean they're able-bodied. Just because someone's dumb enough to say that they're mentally ill when they're not and to get psych meds doesn't mean that they're not able-bodied. There's all kinds of problems with it. So when we look at a system that historically is designed for certain types of white supremacists. What is white supremacy? It upholds nerds, certain types of LGBT people, right? It upholds certain types of arrogant, like English people who try to seem like James Bond or something like that. They try to seem cooler than a nerd or something, or more sophisticated, more kind of together. Okay, while it tramples everyone else and keeps them from competing effectively. Can you then go from that to say, hey, go on welfare, and we're going to set the stage for you to be too busy doing community service and mediocre job training and working, part-time to kind of get the tools you need and the network you need to, to climb the corporate ladder. And on top of that, the corporations are very much full of nepotism and favoritism, racism, classism. They're, arrogant social clubs, all kinds of social clubs, fraternities, college frats, Freemasons, all kinds of groups. They get together, cults, to give each other jobs. The system is extremely unfair. It's nowhere near fair. And the rich owe the poor better than this. If you're not going to have a fair economic system, to just fork over the cash, okay, and pay for people's vehicles, their cell phones, their housing, their food. If you're not going to have a fair system, then pay up, you piece of shit. I mean, what don't people get? If you're going to have a fair system, you need me at the table because, first of all, no one else has been honest this whole time. They haven't shown the integrity and the heart and the character to have a valid opinion. I get harassed by people from every religion, every group you can think of every day. Their groups allow for these people to be in those groups and to be fully accepted while they know that they're scum. It never fails. They don't have that insight, that wisdom, that sense. And everywhere you look, you just see idiots everywhere. Idiots, groupies, cult members. I see cult members every day here in the small town Morgan Hill. Population like between 40,000 and 60,000 or something. I see people in cults every single day. Clear cut cult people, clear cut. I see people who are disassociated with a mind control look in their eyes every day. Keep in mind, I'm 43 years old. I know the difference between a druggy look in their eyes, a look of stress, an airhead look, and a mind control look. I see it every single day. When you put it in its context and you truly understand what causes people to be poor in this country, the plan is a psychotic slave master lunatic plan made for people to be coerced. How does it play out? Well, you all know how it plays out. A bunch of racist LGBT people basically tell people to suck their fucking dicks if they want to keep their head above the water. They do it in a way that's called ludus. It's a game they play. How you turn out the new girl, how you turn out the kid, how you turn out the new guy. How you turn out the guy, who's not so dirty, who's homeless, who's trying to get back on his feet. They take advantage of him. They sexually exploit him. They sexually coerce him. just like they do women in the workplace all the time. Just because there's a bunch of white Jew and LGBT people sat at the table with token minorities to make a deal to underreport incidents of LGBT sexual coercion, which, by the way, is more embarrassing than being coerced. If you're a woman and your boss is coercing you sexually, you're more likely to report it than if you're a guy and a male is coercing you sexually. It's just the facts. I can tell you, I see the signs that there's been a spike in LGBT sexual coercion. Big time. That's why they have this huge homeless population. Because they want people to do things they wouldn't do unless they're extremely fucking desperate because they're sick. Instead of just making a gay region and fucking each other in the ass, they want to fucking every straight guy they can in the fucking ass. And that's the fucking facts here. No offense to the LGBT community, these are the facts.